hope so. And certainly looks very, very likely here. Dignitas. Okay, overpass, it takes quite a long time, actually, to get to the other side and get in knifing range. One thing we did notice yesterday in Versus Pro versus Alternate, Versus Pro won their knife round every single time. It went to 3 maps. Did it? No, it didn't. Did it? I can't even remember. God, my memory. Whatever.
Well, you were casting it, dude, so I can't really
I
help you here.
was literally casting it yesterday, and my memory is already gone. But mTw, they are apparently kings of the knife round.
I feel better now for screwing up your Twitter.
Yeah, no worries.
A little bit
we all make mistakes. Some of them very, very blindingly obvious.
Well, it's not like
It
we've
would've
been
been
casting
fine.
together for about 2 years or anything as well. Like, wow. Either way, knife round has come in. And I didn't quite catch what was said in chat because it moved so quickly, but I'm going to go ahead and assume, yeah, mTw going to be starting on CTs, Dignitas on the T side. This map is CT favoured, I would say. So mTw in a good position to rack up some rounds here on Overpass, but be very interesting to see how they approach the defense side.
A lot of smokes they're buying up here. 4 in total. Clearly planning to cover some choke points. That is looking like it might not be a bad idea as Dignitas are moving through. Dupree, the first man to drop. QK Mantis did take him down. 2 kills across the board, and indeed, suddenly, Dignitas taking a bunch and control of the site.
Yeah, and they will get that plant down in the form of Zipnex as well, so that is going to add to the worries mTw have. This is certainly a big round for Dignitas. As I said before, if mTw can start well, they'll be in good shape, but losing the pistol round would certainly be a pretty denting body blow. Bomb is ticking down. NK does have himself a defused kit, so he could potentially pull this off, but there's Cajun B with the Glock frag. 3 versus 1. NK's been spotted. He's going to be flanked. Zipnex will take down the kill. And there is the 1-0-2 Dignitas. A pretty comfortable pistol round as well, and they got the bomb plant, which is it's just the icing on top.
Yeah, started off with a couple of trades, but then Dignitas just blew them away. Zipnix taking the majority of the kills and starting himself off with an AK and some grenades as a result. He is very well equipped. We'll want to hold on to that.
Did AK just get knifed at spawn there? I'm pretty sure he did.
I think he did. You might be right about that. And he is now also dead, so it is almost irrelevant at this point. Dupree, the rest of the team from Dignitas continuing to just control the site and don't even lose a man. So very, very, very comfortable eco bash.
Yeah, very comfortable eco bash in effect, and well, Dignitas are looking on point right now. mTw, heavy underdogs going into this match. We have touched on this before, Spuddington. You think it's going to go 2-0. I would probably edge and agree with that, but I think it's going to depend on how mTw approach this overpass map. If they can just pick up a few rounds here and there, maybe, just maybe, they can pull off an upset. We have seen plenty of them in the tournament, as you alluded to before. And again, mTw, well, they're actually grouping up. A bunch of them are just moving around in single file, almost like a conga line. And they're going to the complete wrong place, unfortunately for them, because Dignitas, they're going through connector. It looks like they could very well go into B. They've dropped the bomb back towards the playground area, so it's not going to be a fast plant, whatever happens. They're going to look for opening, pick frags, and then maybe move in together. Mantis is really the only person that is standing between Dignitas and this B bomb, and he's in a really precarious position.
He most certainly is. Does take a little bit of damage for his trouble and is likely to be getting flanked any second, but with a nice headshot to start it off and a second to finish it off. He did get the kill on Dupree. On Fetish. Dupree, however, did finish that off. But Dignitas have control of the site now. Are they going to be able to retake here? mTw poke themselves out. Asmo does go down. This is still an eco. So it's going to be a very tough call. Dupree waiting around the corner. If anyone's going to go straight on side.
Not a bad eco round thus far, but if they can get another kill, they're in good shape here. And they're not able to do so, although Dupree is super low, and there come the frags. Dignitas do take it down with ease at the end. Still not a terrible eco round, you know, 2 rebuys in effect now from Dignitas, and if mTw can win this round and just kill the entirety of Dignitas, maybe they're going to be in a pretty sticky situation economically. They do have 5 players. 3 players. They do have 5 players, that's also a fact, but 3 players over $5,000, so they should be able to rebuy next round, but it's all about inflicting as much damage as possible.
Generally proves helpful to have as many players as you can on your team.
True.
AZ is actually going to be, it's actually going to do Dupree taking the first kill. AZ is poking around, looking for something, but meanwhile the push onto the site is going. Dignitas have got the control they need. Asmo does poke out, catch Dupree, but AZ will return fire and take 2 kills for his trouble, leaving NK all alone. M4 in hand, but he's just going to abandon. Leave it till tomorrow, I think. Stopping these terrorists can wait.
So here's me being all optimistic and like, oh, mTw can do this if they inflict economic damage and do this, that, and the other, but they just got completely butchered. Yes, they've got 2 frags, but it's just not good enough. They just force-bought up, of course, as it was the 3rd round, and the 4th round, I should say, 3-0 scoreline, and just nothing paid off for them. So they're right back in a really bad situation. Remember, they're on CT side. You'd be expecting these scorelines to be reversed. Next does get the frag on NK. Just adding to the woes of mTw, desperately wanted to save at least 1 weapon, and look at their economy. It's just, they could end up force buying if they really wanted to, but then they're in even worse predicament if they go ahead and lose it.
Yeah, they got the lost round bonus stacking up now, so they're only going to need to eco once for this. And they have only had the 1 buy round, essentially, against Dignitas, so not beyond them yet, but rounds will start stacking up very, very quickly if they don't put a stop to this momentum on Dignitas now. Or more likely next round, if they're going to do it at all. But still, AZ is going to find MNL and actually come out second best. P250 versus AK. MNL will go down in the end, but still. This is all eco. This is all planned for economic damage. They are looking pretty good.
Yep, still very confident plays from Dignitas. They're approaching overpass incredibly slowly, and why the hell not? It's worked for them thus far. They've had a couple of rush rounds, namely the pistol round. But since then, they've been waiting for mTw to make the wrong steps, really using their experience. And also, these kind of strats as well allows Cajun B, who remember is subbing in, to just kind of go lone wolf style. And this is something that can be very effective. You know, we talk about plenty as I'm talking, they're actually pushing onto the side. They should be fairly clean from Dignitas if they're up against pistols. But we talk a lot about replacements coming in, and maybe the synergy and teamwork won't be there for a team. Not only does Cajun B have a lot of experience with the rest of these players, but on top of that, he's the kind of player that can get a lot of entry frags, and he can kind of lone wolf his way in and get plenty of kills. I mean, you're seeing right now he's on 4-0 and just doing a phenomenal job as Dignitas clean things up.
Yeah, they're looking very good for themselves here. Oh, quite a humpin'. We'll be trying to subvert any language filters, and also maybe look for any exit kills he can find. Not careful, he may get blindsided soon, but I don't think he's going to be seeing anybody right now. mTw still very much coming out the worst here, but did at least save the AK. So, another buy round, another chance to make this work. This time they've got the AWP. They've got the full selection of what they could possibly want here. In fact, so, can they get that first pick? I think that's where it's really going to need to come down. Krotohumpen needs to be landing that first shot.
Yeah, he does. And the reason why that AK pickup was so significant is it allowed them to pick up the AWP. If they all had to buy up again from scratch, the AWP would not be available. They wouldn't have had enough funds to do so. So it was a really important pickup and save, but they have to convert this. We said this time and time again, they got the foundations, as Mantis will cheekily kill Fetish up on the jump there towards B. Fetish obviously was just not expecting that. He's being boosted up from Asma, I believe that is. Let me have a quick check. Yeah, it is. It's boosting him up. And so far, so good for them. They've got the pick, but they desperately need to take this one down. And you did mention this before. They've got the lost round bonus in their favor. If they were to hypothetically win this round and then lose again, they're back up the creek without a paddle. That's the problem with being 5-0 down. It's just constant pressure.
Yeah, indeed. And there is almost no economic pressure on Dignitas right now. They will be perfectly happy if they do lose this round. And in fact, right now, there is a tower of AZ Looking around, but not really finding anything. And it looks like we're going to be seeing the push come in fairly soon. Mantis is there to withstand it, but NK has gone down before this has even started. Mantis, the second man, Dignitas, 4-3 now with the numbers advantage from pushing onto the site. That's not the kind of thing you'd expect to happen.
It really isn't, and it's gone from bad to worse as Asmo gets picked up. And he return frag in from Krauter with the AWP. But they still find themselves in a precarious position. There's the next frag. He's gone for a third. Awesome plays from Krauter as he will jump down. And now it's all on Ace. He's got 100% of his HP remaining. And Krauter picks up his fourth. Massive round from Krauter. Massive round from mTw. But we talked about this before. They've got to keep things going forward. They can't afford to lose right now.
I felt like it was just all on the back of Kreutzerhumpen. And he is so absolutely gonna have to repeat that, because the way it looked there, Dignitas absolutely outclassed mTw. They pushed onto the site with a numbers disadvantage. It wasn't a particularly clever set strat. They just ended up coming out on top anyway with very good calls on the location of mTw's members. Looks like they aren't going to be playing this very slow this time. Pushing onto the site, Cajun B goes first. Doesn't pick anyone up.
Yeah, Asmo will get that first frag. Another buy-up round from Dignitas, of course. They won 5 back-to-back rounds here. And as he said, one of the first times we've seen them play aggressively. And the track got pulled out from underneath the train as far as they're concerned. They are going to go back in again, though. Still on B. Unrelenting with their pursuit. And there's Zipnex and AZ. Both pick up a frag. AZ's now in a great position to close down more players. And indeed, he will do so. Gets a third, very nearly the fourth. And Krauter again. The hero for mTw last round is not going to rinse and repeat. And this is what I was saying, Spud. If they win a round, they have to keep things going. Look at their economy. It's in absolute tatters.
They're going to have to eco. There is no way around that fact now. And Dignitas, they are looking very, very good. Even if they somehow manage to blow this anti-eco round, they'd still have enough to buy, and buy comfortably with several players peeking up towards that 8k mark. MNL is going to be maybe trying to catch AZ out. AZ has really just been playing the same position over and over again, but why not when it's been working so well? MNL poking around. Will he find it? No. Meanwhile, there is actually kills going down, but AZ will drop in the end. Dupree, however, returns fire. It's been 2 kills overall. Not the worst from mTw. And apparently there may have been some lag as well, so that won't repeat itself.
We can only hope. But, yeah, as you said, not the worst round for mTw, but certainly not the best. And with Dignitas already having 6 rounds on T side of Overpass, and it looks as though it's going to be 7, they're already in a great position, Spud. I mean, 7 rounds on T side already is pretty much good enough as far as they're concerned. Of course, they're not going to rest here. They're going to keep pushing forward. They want double digits, but mTw getting decent rounds is no longer enough. They have to win rounds. And that's the problem they're facing. And it just doesn't look like they're going to win anytime soon. As you said, AC's been in the same position every single round. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Dignitas don't need to do anything differently here because their strats are working to perfection.
It's most definitely the case. And mTw are so poor economically as well. You can see, even though NK, maybe he would try and catch someone out normally, instead he is just secreting himself away in a corner with Fetch's AK-47, which sounds like something else, but could be okay here. Zipnix is not looking the right direction. He will get that kill, but the loss of the weapon for Dignitas is irrelevant. The keeping of the weapon for NK is very much vital to mTw's chances.
Agreed. Yep, it is irrelevant when you look at their bank. Look at that. 3 players over $10,000. Yes, they've had to somewhat breach into that little kitty of theirs, but they still have so much money to play with. Even if they were to lose the next 2 rounds, they can more than likely just buy up both, depending on what happens, of course. But mTw, again, economy not fantastic. Couple players sub $100, and Krauter is going to get a grenade to the face. In fact, it didn't do any damage. It looked as though it could land right beside his feet. Here we go. It looks like mTw are now going to play a tiny bit more aggressive. Asmo does get the first kill, but Cajun B is laid in wait as both tunnels get smoked up. So that is going to halt the onslaught for now.
Kreuter
does get the kill.
It was cute. It was cute. He played Ring Around the Rosies with them.
That must be one of the first times I've ever heard a kill being cute, Spud. Sounds a bit dodgy, mate. Not gonna lie.
I find every killer cute.
Really?
I
So
have
yeah, just let
nothing to
the men in
say.
white jackets come round. They'll sort you out soon enough.
No, that's the asylum, not the police. Anyway, mTw are looking not that great right now as AZ actually jumps out. Zipnik's taking a kill elsewhere, and another one for AZ. And suddenly, the situation completely reverses. And Dignitas locked down an 8th round. I think maybe both of us were a bit too generous to mTw, looking at things as they are. We both said, well, you said maybe they could take a map. I said maybe they won't get trashed in terms of rounds. At the moment, it's not looking brilliant on either of those predictions.
Yeah, that's the thing about CS:GO, but you never quite know what's going to happen. You know, we can try our best to give out predictions, but at the end of the day, if one team just doesn't show up, then Dignitas will punish mTw, and that's exactly what's been happening. They're back on Eco once again. They've got a couple Deagles, a couple P250s, and Asmo, well, we picked up with these from AD. They do a bit of damage there, about 50 in total, but again, the Dignitas train is just roaring down, and there's very little the Germans can do about this. mTw, once again, 2 players down. Make that 3, make that 4 as Zipnex gets a nice little double, and AZ picks up the pieces 9-1, and already, I would say, this has been an absolutely horrendous half for mTw. It sounds harsh, but I've got to be honest. 9 rounds for Dignitas, and there's still plenty more to go.
Yep, this is, well, I'm not going to call it at this point, but at the current going rate, we're looking at, like, what, 2 rounds to mTw in the entire half? That would require a pretty incredible comeback to deal with. AZ, once again, in his habitual home, did actually, I think, get flashed this time. They sent Kreuterhumpen to maybe deal with him, but haven't caught him out with it thus far.
Wow, that wall bang.
What happened where?
AZ just got completely spanked through the wall. I'm not sure who that was. I think it may have been Mantis. Every bullet landed and knocked him down to 30. And you could see by his jerk reaction, he's like, what the hell's going on? And he just ran away, as MNL will get the frag in the back. But yes, but it's not looking good.
Well, I don't know. Dignitas here, they may be about to get control of A site, but if you check the health bars, this is probably as good of a situation as mTw usually gets themselves into at this time.
True.
They've got the control over the site, though, and mTw are going to be forced to assail it. They do have multiple angles. Can Kreuter? No! He nearly got that shot, but without that, it's going to be a much, much tougher ask to get in on the site now. Mantis, though, with a nice headshot on Dupree. Maybe setting them up here. Dignitas. Fetish coming from behind, though. If he can get one. Not actually the best scenario. Pigeon B, the last man standing for Dignitas. Asmo, the last for his own, but with that shot missing, they will at least get the round.
Wow, Cajun B picked up 2 phenomenal quick scopes in this game. In this round, I should say, and then missed the easy one. He missed the easier of his chances, and unfortunately for Dignitas, that will be the second round for mTw, but again, the quick rebuy up from Dignitas. Even some FAMASs being picked up from Mantis and the rest of mTw, but they do get an AWP. And I was going to say this before as well, Spud, but it kind of slipped my mind. Another great thing about having a stand-in player who's an AWP is you don't really need to change your tactics that much. You can just say to Cajun B in this situation, okay, mate, you sit on this bomb site or you force this side, well, the rest of us will push a different side. And it doesn't really affect the strats that much. Asmo is going to come in here as you ramp into the 12th round. And there is 3 players from mTw already camping this site. Can they get the spray downs? It's looking pretty good for them if they can get the next frag.
Can, in fact, as NK will open up onto AZ, who's been performing very well on the whole here. Dupree, Fetish, both now very low on HP. They don't even get the bomb plant as NK shuts it down. And that is the kind of round that you really want to be seeing as an mTw fan.
Definitely. That was confident. That was crisp. They didn't lose a single player. So a clean sweep from mTw, the first that we've seen thus far in the match, and maybe that is going to give them the confidence they need to pull this map back. Make no mistake, though, they're still well and truly behind here on Overpass. So I'm not going to say it's a drop in the ocean, but it's certainly not going to factor in too much to Dignitas. They're going to be like, all right, no problems. We lost a round. We still got 9 on T side, guys. We're in great shape.
And remember, this was the map that mTw picked, so Dust 2 could be a whole other level of ugliness if we see it. But But now, take what you can get. Going to be a potential push here. Zipnix hanging around toilets, but not finding anything so far.
Dignitas slowing back down again, realizing that the fast pushes have not worked. It's interesting enough, whenever they've pushed really quickly, mTw have had their number, so they're going back to this pick and nick style of strat. 2 players over on B side, 2 players towards the center. Dupree moving past, going to go to connector with Zipnex, so it looks like it's going to be a B push. Unbeknownst to Dignitas, though, they could find themselves 3 players from mTw if they were to push this. 40 seconds to go. They're going to have to get a move on if they want to get this bomb down. It looks to be exactly what's going here. Fetish throws down the smoke. He's going to spot Asmo up in uppers, and he gets completely decimated from Cajun B. NK has got himself one, drops down just as the second player comes around. He's now going to be pushed from Fetish and Cajun B. It's Cajun B who takes him down in the end. And now in a 3 versus 2 with the bomb down, it's not looking good for mTw once again.
Kreuterhumpen, though, he is the man of the hour. Can he actually get the kill? No, he cannot. With a nice headshot there, Fetish will crush his hopes and dreams of another clutch victory for the team. But in the end, it's 10-3. We're running out of rounds in the half, and mTw are going to go for the forced buy here. The Mag 7, no armor on their AWP, but you never know. Kind of thing can definitely work out sometimes.
Yeah, this is high risk, high reward from Krauter. And he has been the standout player. He's the only player that's actually on double digits and a positive KDA for mTw, so you can understand why they'd give him the AWP and say run with it, but he's been found out from Fetish. And has a big weapon to drop, a big player to get dropped as well. And Dignitas, on top of all the other problems, have now opened up B. There are 2 players again, though, and it will be Mantis and Asma, I believe that is, as MNL does get a frag and gets the bomb down. So that is a bit of a saving grace from mTw. Ooh, they have just got another frag in Mantis. This is looking good.
Yeah, Mantis living up to his name, striking from stealth, basically, there. He was not ready for it. And AZ has been pretty brutal in one-on-one so far, so they're probably very grateful for that. Zipnix, however, he's still looking okay. But in this scenario, Dignitas, I mean, they may as well fight for the bomb. They may as well give it a shot. And in fact, Zipnix gives them 2 to the head, suddenly turning it around again. But Asmo is not done yet. This is not something mTw is just going to let go. But they have let the bomb drop. Not a lot of time now, though. Can Asmo actually take advantage of that? That is going to be the question. Cajun B did see him off. And it looks to me like they are going to get the bomb down just in the nick of time.
Yeah, looking likely. Asmo, 1v2. Bomb will be planted any second now from Zipnix. Smoke's down as well. Not quite covered every angle, and that could get Asmo in. Zipnix smartly is just going to be pinging across and trying to deter Asmo for as long as possible. Cajun B on 84 HP. There comes the flashbang, and Cajun B stands tall. And you know, but if I watched this game without knowing much about either team, I would have guessed that mTw were the player with the substitute in, because Dignitas have constantly got round the back of them, constantly out-rotated mTw. You saw there, they were getting players round the back. I think it was Cajun. They got all the way round the back and ended up wiping out toilets and wiping out the mid-area. And mTw just didn't react to it. I'm really surprised by this.
Lack of communication, maybe. Maybe they're starting to get their heads down and tilt a bit, but any explanation is better than just, we messed up. So, mTw now on the force buy. Deagles, of which there are 3 and 2 Mag 7, so all in on this. Asmo and Fetish, they don't know! They didn't know they were walking into each other in the smoke. So they were just sat there thinking, this smoke is taking an awful long time. This smoke seems... Are there 2 smokes in a row here? But oh well, regardless. They got through in the end, and the Mag 7 at point blank range is going to come out on top. So that leaves us in a 2-on-3.
They both got blocked. They were like, I didn't know there was a wall here. It just turns out to be a member of the opposition. Bomb will be planted. mTw have the player advantage, but can they make it work for them? Zipnex only on 12 HP. Gust of Wind were taken down at this stage. NK with the Deagle is going to be peeking up from bank. Can he get any frags down? There's one to his right-hand side. Asmo gets the first frag in this encounter, turns around, nearly gets the second. He's going to get on the second time of asking. And they take it 11-4. And fair enough, mTw get a 4th round, but that's just not good enough. I'm sorry to be blunt, but it really isn't on CT side of Overpass.
Yeah, it really isn't. But the difference between 4 and 3 is quite significant here.
True.
In that it will give them just that little bit more breathing room. And if they do lose this pistol round, which, by the way, we say it a lot, but they really, really do need the pistol round here. But even if they don't get it, there's still that potential that they won't be forced to play for overtime, at least, which is, you know, a very small benefit, but it's there. It's present. There is a benefit.
If they don't win the pistol round, I think it's pretty much map over, as far as I'm concerned. I think that would be the final nail in the coffin for Overpass for mTw. Desperately need this. Dignitas on the last one, and they are going to start things off nicely. Mantis will be playing the hyper-aggressive role, gets himself the frag, and here's Zip next. He gets himself a double. Beautiful play. Up on the jump, actually, on the box. On bomb site B. Fetish chimes in with another kill, but here comes mTw, bouncing back. It's gone down to a 2-on-1 situation. Crowder caught with his pants down and a grenade out. And Fetish finishes him off, buying the CZ in the pistol round. Sometimes works so well. And that's the 12-4. And as I said, that's pretty much map over. Unless mTw can really pull out some crazy strats.
Gotta be the force buy. I think they actually did it last time as well when they lost the pistol round. But yeah, it will indeed be so. Deagle's Tech 9s, which have been buffed a little bit, and of course they've pretty much just got a selection of pistols here, every single type you could imagine. But for now, see if they can actually get anything done. Reuter not looking great on the HP front so far, but mTw do have some level of control. KGB, however, is going to take the first kill. Asmo returning on Fetish.
Yeah, Crowder did get tagged up heavily, but he also got, I think his Cajun very low. Here comes the Nova. The pump gun, not quite enough. And NK will get the Tech 9 working for him. Of course, was changed in the recent patch. It's a bit more viable now. NK is now going to move with his remaining teammate of MNL through connector. And they're taking the long way round back to B. Don't want to make any noise on squeaky door there. AZ's also waiting, so that was the correct decision. They would have been spammed down from AZ. He's now going to move position and start to look towards T side of B. NK and MNL will be pushing through, and they could very well walk into the crosshairs of AZ if they're not careful. 37 seconds to go. It's definitely going to be a B push. They can't afford now to rotate back to A.
Most likely they will be walking into the crosshairs of AZ here as well. So, well, we're going to be seeing if that Tech 9 can do the work. They're going to be going the long way. No, they are not. They're going to start running. AZ will hear them. He will turn. He will headshot and take the second kill on MNL as well. So, again, it's Dignitas. It's all Dignitas all the time. And mTw are facing a situation where, again, they just don't have a choice, really, but to try for the buy, I think. Although, actually, looks like they are going to eco. I guess put 14 rounds on Dignitas' side and play for overtime.
Yeah, just play your hearts out, I guess, is the message right now to mTw. They do have a Deagle, which is possible to take down a couple kills here and there he is, Asmo. As I mentioned, the Deagle puts it to good use. NK is in a firefight with Cajun B, comes out second best, will be dropped. And now it's all on Asmo, top fragging, 16-14. He's been spotted, and he gets fragged. And now, yeah, as you said, it's going to need to be, the next 12 rounds in a row if mTw want to win this in normal time. There's so little room for error. They're going to force the buy up, of course, at enough money. Crowder's got himself the, well, Pinnacle and Kratos there. This is how he's been playing.
I'm pretty sure the way I'm pronouncing his name is a long way from correct as well. So I don't think it really matters. We can call him Crater if we want. It wouldn't be that surprising.
True. He does have the AWP, which is able to create craters in people's faces. So
Crater humping. Humping.
That does sound a bit dodgy, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it might. Yeah. Oh well.
Crater humping.
It's probably more like cabbage if you translate it. But anyway, Dignitas going to be opening up. Actually, a 3 on 3 so far. Auto sniper on Zipnix, however, is going to be taking another kill, leaving us in a 2-on-3. Mantis and Asmo sneaking around. We'll see AZ will not pick up the kill, though. Put him down very low, and the grenade is coming out shortly afterwards. But still, he lives. That's going to be a big problem for them.
It will. 30 seconds as well. It's almost as if time itself is an enemy of mTw. They don't have enough time to be faffing about in mid. They need to start getting a move on. 20 seconds. Zipnex is going to be in a great position. AZ's coming around from the back. His spidey senses are tingling. Zipnex is opened up, gets the first one with the auto sniper, and AZ comes in. And for me, mTw are too slow on T-side. It's fair enough playing slow and steady and trying to get picks, but if you're leaving yourself 20 seconds to plant, you're effectively playing yourself out of the round.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. There's just... But the biggest problem that they're facing here is just that they seem to come out second best in almost every scenario. They need to be trying to play around the position Dignitas is taking. They're not exactly mixing things up very much, Dignitas. So stuff like pop flashing and rushing in, that can definitely play against that style, but we're not going to be seeing it on this map because Kreuterhumpen all of a sudden is the only man standing, and now he's the last man who fell.
16-4, Spud.
Ouch.
I mean, that pretty much